All right, of course, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Victorious Ones Podcast. Of course, my name is King Von Jr. You can follow me on Twitter at 301 King Von Jr. or Instagram at Mr. King Von Jr. And without further ado, as I've said in the intro, we're gonna have a very special episode as I introduce the legendary podcast legends, Black Rasslin. And so I already have 3 out of 4 coming in right now. And so I'm just waiting for one more to come in, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And so, of course, like I said, it's been long overdue. I've been very persistent, and I know that this is going to be definitely going to be something very exciting. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let some of them introduce themselves. I'm just waiting for one more. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to hold them up any longer. So here we go. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and introduce. What's up? Bring it to the stage. Number 1.
What's going on?
All right, here they are. So let me, I'm going to bring everybody on here right now, just like I did with Jobber Tears. That's that, by the way. This is so hilarious.
Hey, yo, turn my screen off.
Oh, man.
No, leave him and that hat to take my place. I'm out of here.
Tupac ass hat. What you doing?
I did not expect that at all.
He killed
the Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump.
Oh my
Hey!
Whoa, y'all got the matching shirts. Oh my gosh, this is so hilarious.
He 100% slid a teddy bear's neck to that goddamn
I got
hat.
the Yonkers shirt underneath this.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
And of course, you gotta represent the brand, just like I did with Jobber Tears was on. So two in 1 year. So yeah, like I said, if if anybody would like to introduce themselves, same way that y'all do on the show, whoever would like to go first.
Hello.
Ladies first.
Now cut on mic.
Hello.
What the third Sunday is going on right now?
Yeah, for real.
It's always church when Mimi's around.
Yeah, you got that right. Amen. So everybody, like I said, thank you very much for coming on. So
Thank you for having.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
So I guess that was your introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Mimi, host of Turnbuckle Talk, co-host of Black Rasslin, 1/4. And so whoever else wants to introduce themselves next, you know how it is.
Hey, right round. Nah, man. IlFam790 is social media choice. AKA the editor of the podcast, and Captain Blue Albano, Blue Diamond Phillips, Sticky Dragon Scene, Go Pod, Shampod, God's favorite podcast, the Potty Pipe, I'm in the podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of DNT. Nice to see you, love daddy, WFAM, where family always matters.
Hey.
There you go, Fan Piper. Okay, Fam Anderson. Next up. Good.
In my world, police recognize fame. Know a nigga by his walk or how they saying his name. It's at Matth Damon.
Damn, I know it's Damon.
Damon. I'm off, but it's still Damon.
Have my watch on. I'm
Khal.
Khal.
Game time to get that ring since he's Milwaukee now. But anyway, we'll see how that happens. And of course, last but not least,
I'm Khal, at Khal on Twitter. 1/4 of the Black Rasslin podcast. You already know the vibe.
You already know. Of course, we all already know. Where y'all stand. Where I stand when it comes to Toxic Terry and all things considered. You know what I mean? Just like the X-Men.
From the Bronx?
Can I
today? Whenever they got to know where we stand.
Wait. Cuz asked an amazing question.
Vaughn, can we curse?
That's a good question.
Hey, whatever.
Well, fucking hey.
Like I said, certain people I don't give a pass for that.
Oh, hey.
But whatever. Dr. D, everybody, say what they want to say on, at
good point.
BlurCon. So
sorry, y'all.
Yeah, in advance. In advance.
So Stephanie Hardy is watching. You might.
I'm sorry, Steph Hardy.
I'm sorry.
You might want
Put
to
your
Yeah, cover your ears. Cover your ears, Queen. Cover your ears.
Earmuff Steph.
These two right here.
Earmuff status.
These two
Put on
right here on the side. Dice
that
and
on.
Clay.
put that thing on mute. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you might as well just watch with subtitles if that's the case. But like I said, it won't be coming from me. But I'm just giving you a heads up disclaimer right now. Viewer discretion is advised. You know how Randy Orton used to have that Legend Killer parental advisory shirt?
Yeah.
If I had a graphic for that, I might as well put that up right now. Because this is about to
I'm gonna say all the good words.
But at the same time, hey, look, if I was able to handle jobber tears, then
Mr. Black always be talking about himself. Like,
he does.
He be like, I'm so excited, but he said it in different words.
He ain't saying
so good, I'm excited. I love him. That's my guy.
When he says I'm so excited, it's not like the song, okay?
I mean,
like
kind of.
All right.
He
couldn't hide it either. But anyway, that's hilarious. I just had to get that out of the system. So I'm, whenever Public Enemies, if I have to send an invite out to them, I don't know. That's really gonna be like, exactly.
X-rated.
Yeah, exactly. With any one of them, Jizzle or Bram, either one of them.
Big facts.
But yeah, facts. But anyway, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the brand. I support the brand, and I appreciate the way that y'all represent Black wrestling when it comes to independent wrestlers, when it comes to just wrestlers in the mainstream companies like WWE and AEW and things like that. And so I think it's very important. I think it's very important the way, like I said, the way that you show support with your platform, the stands that you take. You know what I mean? Like I've been following since like 2018, 2019, something like that.
Thank you.
Well, at least because
long time supporter.
Because here's the thing. What got me was as I said in the beginning of the show, the red X. Like anytime you put up a red X over a guy like that tells you already the stand that you take. Yep. That you take. You know what I mean? So it's just like can't nobody ignore that. It's just like there's no question. Like I said, your convictions and things like that. So and that was a bold move in and of itself. And so I knew about the about the tape and stuff that he said back in 2015. And so this was the crazy thing about it was that side note, we're gonna get into the rest of this later, but the thing is, side note, little side note fact, he got fired. Was it like the week? I think he got fired like the week before Piper had died.
Damn, it was around that time. I didn't realize that.
It was because what's crazy though? It was July 24th when that news happened about Hogan Terry saying what he said, right? And so what happened was this was like the week of my birthday. Like my birthday was like on that Monday, which is crazy, right? So I was like, all right, I was just trying. All right, since the news came out, at first before that stuff happened, like WWE, like the artist, one of the WWE artists had this picture. We had all the different like logos that Hogan represented and stuff like that, WrestleMania, yada career highlights and stuff, right? And so before that stuff happened, I was getting ready to like get that, get a little something like that for my birthday, just post on my wall. So after that went down, I was like, I was like, nah, I ain't even doing that no more. So I was just checking out just to see, if it was still gonna be up there. It got pulled completely off the website.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a blowback. I was like, man, and then
the only thing I was mad at is they took rock and wrestling off. I used to love rock and wrestling as a children.
Yeah, but see,
we old.
Uncle Phil was on there as Junkyard Dog, man.
That was the fact. That was good. That was a good time.
Oh man, he was. I didn't even notice that. Like 2 years before Shredder. But yeah, I'm saying like see, people got to realize what type of influence that you carry, how powerful your words are, and how that creates a ripple effect. And so that messed up like a lot of people's catalog for a while, as far as like match catalog. It'll be hard to go back and watch like WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 5, and things like that. And it's amazing how initially, Piper was supposed to be Mr. T's main villain, but the truth is Mr. T's main op was the one that was in his corner.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, Vaughn.
When you think about it,
nah, you right. You shooting though, like goddamn, he was ready. He had that shit loaded.
I was ready. I was ready. I
mean, it's all factual.
But yeah, but anyway, like I said, I really want like I said, if anything, I wanted to ask about like sort of like the beginnings, like your origin in terms of how this whole thing started, like as far as like how this snowball.
So Khal used to work at a science lab.
Met my father
And
in high school.
I did not work for the science lab.
He got bit by a radioactive podcast.
Big facts. It was just wrestling information and StreamYard. Nah. So
wait a minute. Speaking of, I haven't even got the game yet. I'm getting the PS5 pretty soon.
He got the game.
He got the.
Oh man,
that's a whole nother podcast about the game.
Oh
and
man,
you know what's funny about the game? My kid beat it, right? And of course, you're hooked to your email is hooked to the PlayStation Network and XYZ. It was like, so you beat the game. Insert major spoiler for the game.
Oh wow!
Like, come on, I've been standing in the other room while he was playing. We went out and drank liquor instead of being at the house with him. And Sony spoiled it. So now that you know,
that's crazy. No, that's actually crazy.
One more time in plus mode.
Game like you get that notification, game completed, story completed, or something like that.
Yeah, you got to break the PlayStation at some point. Nah.
Oh shit.
Gosh, seriously, that's insane.
So
can you see us, brother? Can you see us?
The Cliff Notes version. Now, mind you, I don't remember the years right now, but I mean the abridged version was I had a website that I was supposed to be writing about hip hop and music and all this other type of stuff, and it kind of evolved. Shouts to rockthedub.com. And at a certain point, I thought I was doing too much pro wrestling on the site, so I started a blog, Black Rasslin. It was a blog spot. blackwrestling.blogspot.com is what it was originally, and it went from like covering it essentially was just all news, everything going on with black pro wrestlers with some other information sprinkled in there. As my life progressed, I wasn't gonna have the time to keep up the website with other stuff going on in my life, so I actually turned it into a blog. And I used to steal time away from my job. I always talk about the dumpster. There was like the building, there was the parking lot, and then there was like some trees and a dumpster. And I used to steal away time with like I was print. I was on the job. I got no. But what I would bring with me was like I would print stuff out from like Wrestling Inc. and all these other sites. Just stuff that I would want to talk about. I would do my little news segments, doing my little recaps of Raw, throw some hip hop tracks in there, real dirty. I know it sounded like shouts to everybody whoever listened to it. 'Cause I know it didn't sound great, but it was essential.
He was doing the work.
It ended up being the prototype for what years later. I ended up stopping because I had, again, life changes, different jobs going on. I didn't have any time to do what I was doing the way I was doing it at that point. I was commuting back and forth all day. So I put it on hold. But one day, Brother Fam hit me. And because in that time, they had already started a podcast, shouts out to Where's Buffy, and they was moving. Mm-hmm. Interviews, radio spots. They like Buffy was moving at that point. But one thing, again, you always get to that point. It's like you're talking about something, but you may work within a team and everybody in the team ain't trying to talk pro wrestling. It's just them two.
Right.
Family ties up there. So Fam hit me one day. He was like, look, me and Matth, we want to do something with pro wrestling. What are you doing with Black Rasslin? Are you trying to, if we were to try and figure out how to restart that either with you or with your blessing to do it on our own, what's your thoughts? And I was like, do I have time? How would this work? Because we had never spoken, mind you. Me, Fam, Matth, like we hooked up because Matth was an aspiring, you hear Matth rapping. Matth was rapping, but we connected on totally different things. And through the magic of Twitter, we would be talking about pro wrestling every Monday. You know what I mean? So that first episode of Black Rasslin, which I don't think you can hear at this point, was the first time that we spoke outside of however many characters in Twitter. And since then, we've been doing that every Thursday ever since. It's going from phone calls to Skype to StreamYard. Shouts to Brian H. Waters for figuring that out. What's up?
We did some Zoom episodes first.
We did some Zooms. Yeah, there was a little bit of Zoom in there before we hopped to actually. Zoom was like right at the beginning of the pandemic. It wasn't until the summer of 2020 that we discovered StreamYard. Again, shouts to Brian H. Waters. And that, I feel like that was probably a groundbreaking moment only because that made us realize, oh, it doesn't have to just be audio. We could set up a YouTube and drop these there and see what happens. And slowly but surely, it's kind of turned into every Thursday, us, Vaughn, people in the chat. We're just having a big conversation about the week with some pro wrestling thrown in there. I mean, but like you said, shirts, nobody was thinking about any of this stuff happening. It was just, we want to talk about pro wrestling, and you the only other nigga that want to talk pro wrestling like we want to talk.
Right.
That's really where, I mean, if we want to be real, that's really where it came from. And it's been 6 years in this current iteration. Although Mimi's been around a year or some change now, going on 2 years about Mania this time. So yeah, it's been slow building, but I think we're probably moving towards our I don't want to, because I don't think we've peaked it off. I think we're kind of moving towards a unique time. I think we're always trying to think of what y'all ain't doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of ideating and putting it in emotion. So it's been dope to build with my brothers and my sister for this time that we've had. And I'm always amazed that people tuned in, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Every week y'all still watching? Like because we be on some shit. You know, Vaughn, but
oh yeah, I definitely know. Yes, it's just, especially anytime you get the attention of those within the E, anytime they be sending C and D letters. I'm just saying, like, not
that's in the past though. That's in the past.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. So I'm just saying.
Exactly. So that's old shit. We got old shit.
Yeah, some BS. You know what I mean? But it's whatever. But anyway, like I said, so Mimi, how did you get connected with BR?
Well, somebody hopped into my DMs. You know what I mean?
Wait.
Roman?
I know it's Alan here, but goddamn, what?
Jesus Christ.
What?
Nah. So,
with this guy right here.
How about that? See?
I wish he hopped in my DMs.
I told you.
I wish he hopped in more than a DM.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah.
G show.
So,
G-rated.
Yes. So,
G, like OG.
Exactly.
So I started watching. I was introduced to Black wrestling, like Black wrestling Twitter during the pandemic when everything was shut down and literally everybody was online. And at the time I was working for WWE. And so, most people, they don't try to silence you, but you kind of have to, you kind of take the stance of, you know what, I'm going to do podcasting. But I'm going to try to reserve how I communicate certain things because you don't want to appear to be just dropping dimes or just not do it at all. And so while I was there, another Black podcast asked me to do a show and I said I declined because I just couldn't, but I didn't let them know that I was working there, which is why I had declined. So when I left, I reached back out to them, but I never heard back, which is fine because they wanted to do an interview. So I wanted to just kind of like honor that interview or whatever. And so I was in a space where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Right. I wasn't sure if I wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted to do now that I had more creative freedom. And so just randomly, the BRP account dropped hey, we would love to have you on our show. Was it Fam? It might have been Fam. I can't remember who it was, but they just hit me up and said, hey,
you know who you with? You know these anti-social Negroes.
Yeah, how about that? It probably was fam. It probably was.
It probably was. It probably
Wasn't
was.
me. It ran,
I'll tell you how it went. But I'll tell you how it went. And this is why, like, we all have to move intentionally. And I feel like everybody here moves intentionally, and that's why it works. So Fam asked me to come on. I said okay, but I had been in the chat a couple of times, right? Just listening and just been like it felt like more of a hangout, like Thursday nights, go and talk mad crap in this chat with these dudes, and then they pop it up. Like, not a lot of this was the first podcast that I saw would pop up the chats, right? And so when you do that, it forces engagement, right? And so I was having fun or whatever. Then, I wasn't catching it all the time, but if I was catching a Black wrestling podcast, it was this one and Black Announce Table. And so I said, all right. So I'm just whatever. And then Fam hit me up and said, do you want to do this? We'd love to have you on the show. So I'm on the show, and I wasn't sure what to expect, right? Because I was just like, oh my God, like, what's about to happen? Because it's, as you see, the content is the content.
Yeah.
And so I had a really good time. And so then 2 days later, Matth popped into the DM and was like, hey, we want to have a conversation. Do you have some time on Monday? And I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to do this again. Like, I felt like I was telling my story a lot. And that's why I don't like doing these road shows, because it's like you're repeating yourself almost. You know what I mean? For people that don't know who you are. And I wasn't sure if I wanted people to know who I just wasn't. And I was part of another wrestling with a group of guys before. And that was cool, but life happens and it kind of like broke away. And that was that. So in the meeting, we had a conversation. They wanted to bring me on, and I was just like, oh wow. I didn't even think that I did anything. Like, I wasn't really, I had a good time, but I thought that's what it was. It was just a good time. You know what I mean? And so,
Wow.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe. And it's been like, what, 2016 is when I did that other show. So like, 2016. So it'd been a while, like almost 4 or 5 years almost, like, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, let's try it again. And then at that time, I got invited to do a couple of articles with Fightful. So I was just like, well, maybe. I was moving at that time, right? And then I started a job, and then just things keep going like this, things just keep going like this. And so at the end of the day, it was a year of getting to know everybody individually. And again, I move very intentional, and each person eventually, now we're here at a year later, and it feels like these people are a part of my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will not go to the DMV without hitting up anybody. You know what I mean? You got to check in all the time.
In the DMV.
So
That's fact.
yes, you do.
Right.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, in fact, you got 3 people from the DMV.
We ain't in the DMV.
Not me. I'm from New Jersey.
I'm not talking about Khal. I'm not talking about Khal. I'm talking about
Maryland.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm talking about
DMV,
and myself.
the DMV ends in Laurel. Anything north of Laurel.
We
Exactly.
in Maryland.
Plain and simple.
Maryland.
This is the greater Baltimore area.
There you go. So yeah, I'm still DMV actually. Yeah. So within that time.
Right.
There you go. But anyway, yeah. So that's a whole nother conversation of itself, because I do a lot of DMV references on the show anyway. But yeah, like, so for me, Mimi, like, the thing is, like, I because the thing is, I noticed, like, when we first came on, and I was like, I was thinking to myself, I don't know what she got herself into, because I was like, because the thing, because for real, because the thing is, I was like, this, like, like when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be like super like corporate lady of the podcast.
Really?
Impossible.
Really?
It's funny to hear that
nigga in the chat.
Yeah.
It's funny to hear that now. That's funny.
Well, nowadays in 2023, it's funny, but at that time, I was like, because as far as like, adding that, new dynamic and things like that. And of course, I applaud you for having that, diversity when it comes to bringing women on the show.
Mhm.
You know what I mean, and how Jobberteers has Janelle,
Mhm.
P3 has Keeks now in there, and everything like that. So that's very important to let all other voices be heard.
Mhm.
Um, but maybe I would say that I would say like the first time like I really like took notice.
Mhm.
When it comes to your writing, when it comes to the pen game,
Mhm.
yours is top notch.
Well,
Because
thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, so the thing is, so the thing
Right.
about it, like I first took notice of Mimi's writing from the article that you did about Roman Reigns,
Mhm.
as far as Roman being the new Mr. WrestleMania and stuff like that. Instead of like Shawn. Hey, look, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but I'm just saying, I still,
You
yeah,
said
I
that
still,
shit. No, you
yeah,
said that shit.
because I know fam was disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying,
Oh
like,
no, it's
yeah.
half
So,
from the
but
joint.
yeah, like I said, but it was, but the thing about it is that, like, when I read that, I was like, okay, like, all right, this is making more sense. Maybe appreciate Roman even more. So I wrote my own, thing,
You
article
did.
about Roman as well. And so in terms of his career and his progression and stuff like that, and so so the thing is, like I said, I pay attention to to a lot of the a lot of articles, a lot of the writings, when it comes to like wrestling and hip hop, I would say that other than I'm going to go into the BRP 50 pretty soon, but the thing about it is that like when it comes to wrestling and hip hop, especially wrestling is one of those things where it transcends the ring and hits different other areas. Like you compare wrestling to anything. Wrestling when it comes to hip hop, wrestling when it comes to comic books, wrestling when it comes to the NBA, whatever the case may be, things like that. Like wrestling is its own culture where it just like you could, because wrestling is storyline, as I've heard somebody say. Like the thing is, it's driven by storyline. Everything else that we see in society is so much driven by storyline. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the NBA, storylines. When it comes to finals, when it comes to like I said, when it comes to the Warriors, like KD joined them at the time, that was storyline. LeBron with the decision, storyline. Jordan's career, nothing but storylines. Magic versus Bird, storylines, things like that. You can even go when it comes to just just so many different things going on around us, storyline. I mean, even when it comes to everything that was dealing with this election stuff, it was storyline. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Gimmick. You know what I mean? So,
Scripts.
seriously, hip hop is certainly no different, especially with this being 50 years. And so, I kind of want to, want to get into that as well. And so, like I said, I know that. Yeah. So, all right. So, like I said, I was going to talk about that when it comes to like wrestling and culture, in the sense that how in sense that wrestling transcends so many different things, like I was saying, as far as hip hop. So, what was your anybody can answer? So like, what was the criteria? What was some like the thought process when it came to coming up with these comparisons and coming up with these like analogies and things like that?
In regards to like hip hop and wrestlers?
Yeah, like as far as like matching who is who.
I think since I wrote the article, I think I might have dipped into the chat a little bit. I know I hit fam up on the side if he would help me out a little bit. I know I know before I did my comparisons, those weren't the original comparisons. I hit up Math and Math was like, what? With what was it? Was it the Iron Sheik and Nas? I think that was it. And he was like, wait, what?
Block. Block.
That's interesting.
Was that? But that was right. Like that was like right after Iron Sheik had passed, right?
It was like the
was it?
Yeah, and I think both of those, and I think one of the Magics or was out. So both of those guys were probably top of mind.
Maybe.
I don't possibly.
Yeah.
But it was like a light conversation. It was light.
Yes. Super light. And then, but as I started writing it and I started remembering detail because I like to write about detail and facts. And so as I was doing that, I started going back and my comparisons kept changing. It kept changing because as you compare and think about the wrestler and their trajectory, you go back and think about the artist and their trajectory. You know what I mean? And so I think it changed a couple of times. So the process was more just making sure that it aligned accordingly. And I wouldn't have gone any further back than, because there was a whole two eras that I missed. I missed the Attitude era, and I missed Ruthless Aggression. I missed those two eras. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of, if I did pick somebody around that time, I had to go back. I think Randy Orton was one of my guys?
Yeah, you had
He was
Randy
one of
Orton.
my guys.
Yeah,
I had to go back with, because I really like Randy Orton is part of my top 5. So I had to go back into the era that he came in and really kind of like read up on him and where he was around that time. So it was mainly like research. A lot of my writing is about research. Same thing with Janai Kai. If I'm not familiar with the subject, like I have to go back and just make sure that I understand, because I want to do it justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because the thing is, like that's like that Twitter thread that's all y'all had with as far as like with Tay, as far as like initially coming up with those comparisons before the official article came up, the wheels start turning. So I will say that the biggest one, my favorite comparison that came up was Bret Hart and Nas. Like that,
and I think Matth didn't agree with me, but I put that in there because I felt like those two had similar careers. Like I felt like they're really technicians in their field, but for some reason they never quite were number one, but they were the best.
Right.
They were the best. And they were number one because they stood in their convictions. In my opinion, I felt like in the beginning of Nas's career, he got in his way a little bit because he was just pigeonholed and he was young. He was like a Gen Zer-ish in that time, right? But he was the best. He was the best.
I think the thing about these comparisons that kind of make them dope is they're never really going to be one-to-one, right? Because they do similar things where there's an artistic portion of what they do, and then there's the career portion of what they do that we can compare kind of both type of things. And it's just a really it's a really cool thing to go in depth about, because you can, you know what I mean? Because everybody's gonna have that one guy that they compare. I think it went all the way back to when we had the Corner Pod on Black Rasslin, and we had that conversation with Dre and Khal, and they were like, it's a cool thing to do with your buddies. It's like you sit at the crib and you drink what you drink. Hey, yo, who your top 5? Yo, who your XYZ? And it's that element, because everybody, it's one of those things. If you're getting in a group of wrestling fans, someone has an opinion. The same thing with rap, and when you can merge the two, it becomes an even bigger deal in the room. That's a great thing to talk about when you're drinking.
Yeah, for real. And so Matt, like I know Mimi said that you disagree with one of them, like as far as like was the Bret Hart and Nas. So who was your initial comparison before it was finalized, as far as like the Nas comparison, whatever?
I couldn't really find one, like Cuz was saying. I couldn't really find a one-to-one. I think when we actually started the conversation, I'm not sure if it started with this, but the conversation popped up initially. It was before the corner. I think it was when we were talking to Rosenberg, and my comparison was Busta Rhymes and the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes. I remember
that right on point.
That was a good one.
That was I don't know if it started before that or if it started from that, but then we started going places, and I'm like, God damn, I never thought about that. But that was the first place that I went.
Oh man, that's a mirror. That's a mirror right there, side by side with that one. Now I will throw a couple of other ones out there. I would say China will be Queen Latifah. in the sense that they both because the fact that they represented women empowerment
in the male
male
dominated space. Yep.
Base, and so you know what I mean. So they were never afraid to be themselves.
She was the first big like China was the first big women superstar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean.
Okay.
So Queen Latifah was a pioneer in her aspect in that sense. When it comes to a couple of them I thought about like Trish Stratus and Lil' Kim. You know, and so in the sense that in the sense that both of them were pioneers when it came to just women's empowerment, when it comes to just sex appeal and things like that. And so like,
but let me ask you a question, Vaughn.
Does
it necessarily need to be woman to
man to man, woman to woman?
Right.
That's a good question.
That was his.
It don't always have to be that.
No, because it could be like Memphis Bleak, and what was the lady who used to come to the ring all the time, like Vicky Guerrero. Like I want both of them to shut up.
Good point. You know what I mean? So
I can't.
I'm curious who.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, for real. Both of them can. But the thing is, I got a couple of. Who would be the Undertaker comparison when it comes to hip hop?
God damn. Would it?
It might be
answer
Drake.
It might be who?
Might be Drake.
No.
Nah. So
I was thinking.
But let me tell you why.
Yeah, I want to hear why.
I don't none. When you talk about my favorite matches, and I'll put matches to albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't have a favorite like Undertaker's matches don't make
sense.
my
You're right.
Not even the Shawn Michaels matches.
Drake has a bunch of great songs.
Mm-hmm.
Drake doesn't have a classic,
Mm-hmm.
right? But also Drake's had one of the most curated careers of all time. Undertaker is easily the most curated wrestler of all time.
I love this.
I mean, they'll always be looked at as, you know, one of those guys, but never that guy.
I thought you was gonna say because one act like he did and then one act like he black.
Wait,
which is which?
which is funny. Is Drake right now in his Undertaker as Big Evil right now phase? Like, are they the one right now?
Midlife, mid-career crisis age.
No, when Drake had the beard, that was American Bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so basically,
that was the motorcycle beard Drake. Like Big Beard Drake was the motorcycle.
That's funny.
That's a mid-career crisis era, if you will.
Yeah, like when they was Young Money, that was the corporate ministry. Like, you know,
right.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe it's Liddy.
I like that.
Man.
Thank.
Wow.
I mean,
that's right.
I'm not mad at it.
I get where you're coming from as far as that. But at the same time, I gotta look like the Undertaker Shawn Michaels matches in terms of his catalog, as well as, you know, like pretty much those.
Breaking Future.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's Diamonds Dancing. Yeah.
Oh,
Jump man.
Wow. So Sean's future.
That's funny. That's funny.
So all right. So I was getting ready to ask who would the HBK comparison be?
Damn,
I'm not a HBK fan, so I don't really.
Yeah.
But I mean,
a lot of HBK love on.
I mean, you start there, right? Especially if you're gonna call Bret Hart Nas, you might as well start there, right?
Yeah,
it stinks.
Oh
but I mean, it makes sense though.
But we automatically have to pair them there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But still, in all, I mean, 1-1. I mean, the thing that only messes this up is Nas now. Because Bret Hart doesn't have 3 Magics and all these other albums. He literally wasn't able to do all that. So
is Nas, is that Cena? No, I don't care.
Nas is because everybody champions Shawn Michaels after he came back. That would be Nas. Shawn Michaels would be Nas.
So King's Disease would be the 2002 comeback Ruthless Aggression.
I don't know.
But see, this is where I think this
Yeah.
is
This is
where
what
it
they
happens.
want.
one-to-one.
Is where you get like too far into the
Right.
That's my
You know what I
problem.
mean? Well, the
Yeah,
That's my
nigga didn't
problem.
wear, he
Rabbit
didn't
hole.
wear
Can't
Adidas
go
to
to
the
a rabbit
ring, so
hole.
he can't be Rev Run. Like,
Right.
But I ain't gonna hold you. This run in NXT is these Magic albums. I mean, Shawn Michaels is really
Yes.
doing something right
Yes.
now. It's not always gonna be one to ones, but I think there are a lot of parallels. And again, I think that's
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Bushwick Bill I. Shawn
Oh,
Michaels
no.
got Bushwick Bill I.
Wow. Yeah. No.
who's Scarface?
Michael Hickenbottom, Icelander.
That's a good question. That's a good
Yeah. So anyway,
That thing
so
cocked like a pistol.
oh man. Okay. So all right. So who would be? All right. So who would be? I was thinking for Undertaker. I was thinking more like. I know it's gonna sound crazy. Probably more like LL, just because of longevity, and because they were sort of like figureheads. LL was the initial figurehead for Def Jam a long time. They both had longevity. They both reinvented their image. You know what I mean? LL went from the Kangos to the do-rag and the Scully.
Fubu's,
He just changed the hat. He kept his shirt off.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You know what I mean? And so of course Taker went from being, of course, the undead zombie mortician to the biker and things like that. So I mean, there's a couple of them, but yeah.
I never liked the Undertaker.
Oh man,
I was never into it.
Oh wow,
I was scared of him at first when he was Kane.
That's legit.
Yeah,
that's legit. Like
now,
he killing people in the ring.
Yeah, why he got them baseball socks on?
Right.
Them purple baseball socks with the stuff.
Because there was a part of me, I was almost like kind of like scared to pick him on the game. That kind of
he was throwing ghouls. If you played the arcade, when he would throw like ghosts and shit at you,
yeah, for real. You know what I mean?
He was throwing them things.
Nah.
Not
at all. Not at all.
I got a
pause.
But I ain't say he was catching them things.
No, but Undertaker was like no problem. Undertaker was like a cheat code on that. If you knew what you were doing. But yeah, but because David had, I remember like David had this Undertaker glow in the dark WWF Jax action figure, like for real. This was when he had the purple gloves and the purple tie, and so yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly.
The sock glue too?
No, not at all.
Is it the sock? Was it all one big boot, or did he had to put the boots on and then put?
No. All right, so like
a third baseman.
Not like that. Like it's like the socks. Like with the tie with the boot. You know what I mean? The purple. I mean like you know how Taker's attire was, right? So like the thing is like the purple. The purple sock. Them
shit's connected to his by suspenders.
Not quite. No,
not till later on in his career when he had the whole thing.
Yeah,
he had the later. One.
Oh my god!
It was later, but yeah.
Because he used to have like pants, and remember he had the onesie that last like.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible.
Like, I know the gear guy. He called the gear guy like, "I get into this thing. What if I gotta take a piss? Like, what am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do?"
I had it.
Oh yeah, like that's.
Man, give me some pants.
Just give me some pants.
Give me some pretty much.
Oh shoot!
Sorry, Vaughn.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Because like Ruthless Aggression Undertaker and like PG era Undertakers, like his matches got better over time. You know what I mean? Like at least his dance partners got better over time. You look at Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, a guy that you don't want to talk about, Mimi. The guy who's now known as Adam, AEW, formerly known as Edge, or Ledge these days.
Ledge.
Yeah,
Cliff.
Exactly. Yeah, clearly Cliff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but like the thing is just like like when it comes to, I was just throwing examples when it comes to hip hop and wrestling. And one last thing, as far as this, who would you consider to be comparisons of Tupac and Biggie as far as wrestling?
I'm sorry. That's a. Tupac and Biggie.
Rock and Austin.
I would say no, just because I mean, we could still possibly get. We've recently gotten, in the last couple of years, performances from both them fellas. So, like, the main thing from those guys is like who do we like? I mean, do you say like Big is like a Eddie Guerrero, a nigga that everybody loves?
There's influence that's there. There's history that's got to be there.
Influence, and they gone soon, but
very soon.
Got super work while they was here.
Yep.
I mean, but we got Eddie matches for a long time. So I mean, then like I said, these things are never gonna be one to one. So it all depends on what points you think personally make that artist. Like what makes Big in your mind. Right. And for me, I know it is a guy who gone too soon, but the work he put in while he was here was amazing. So like if I said Big as an athlete, it would be like Bo Jackson.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I get it. Like,
I don't
catalog wasn't that deep.
Pac and Big are tough. Those are tough ones.
Pac has one.
Right.
I mean, Tupac's like in its own league.
One of these niggas could rap Hennessy with Enemy, I'm sure.
Hennessy, my enemy. I feel like somebody said there was a Pac one at the panel, but I can't think about it right. I can't think of what it was right now.
No, we cannot.
I have to go back to the footage.
Video.
Yeah. But,
I mean, who's like ain't no technical wonder, but when it comes down to like when they get to talking, you feel what they saying.
Talk them into the room.
Right. I mean, is that like a Dusty?
Roman Reigns.
I was gonna say, is it Dusty? Is it who would be
Roman Reigns?
Who would be the Big then? If Dusty, if it was Dusty and who?
I wouldn't compare. I wouldn't compare.
No. Roman Reigns might be Lil Wayne.
Really?
Say it.
I was thinking
when we started, and we met Wayne was a little kid rapper, and he was cool, but he was, women love to look at him. You know what I'm saying? And there was something in there as a gimmick, but it wasn't. He was not that guy. He was Wayne. And he came back
with Fireman.
Started making them.
That's right. That's right.
Who was Billy the Kid? Who was booking these matches?
Good point. Roman is Wayne. I can kind of see that. I can kind of see.
Yeah, like people call him the GOAT, but they tripping. Like, he's definitely Lil Wayne.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna get into that greatest thing. Pretty soon in a minute. We're gonna dive into that in a minute. Dive into that shortly. When it comes to the 50 greatest wrestlers bars, but yeah, like I said, as far as like we're gonna go into that a little bit, but the thing is, I think this is just an example of how wrestling transcends the ring and how you could use different examples because see, you're wrestling in hip hop analogies, and a lot of stuff that you did with the BRP 50 are the things that that were a blueprint for me to do some of the things that I've been doing as far as the podcast. So recently, pretty much, like this topics, I pretty much caught lightning in the bottle when it comes to wrestling and comics. And so with the different like analogies and examples that I came up with, so the process was pretty similar, to that in terms of trying to like match everything exactly one in one. There are certain things, like I said, like Fam's talking about as far as career trajectory and whatnot. Also storylines in terms of similar personalities. You know what I mean? So like when it comes to story arcs. So like I know one of the most. It's not. Oh, you got the referee over here. Oh man.
1, 2, 3.
Oh man.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
That ain't no damn referee. He working Foot Locker.
You know what? Speaking of Foot Locker, I just got those elephant print ones. Yeah, I just got those.
I was gonna say Mike ain't wear those
because Mike ain't wear those.
Mike ain't wear those. But yeah,
I saw them on the YouTube the
getting
other
them
day.
lost balance pretty soon. Whenever I can. But yeah, like I said, but the thing about it is that when it comes to like I said, the thing is when it comes to wrestling and even comics, they're same thing when it comes to wrestling and hip hop. There's certain analogies that that when you think about it, like kind of makes sense. Like for instance, John Cena's Superman. That's pretty obvious. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have to like think deep into that. Like Bret Hart and Cyclops are like one and the same. You know what I mean? Like both of them.
Because they both snitches.
They wear glasses.
I wasn't gonna say
glasses.
The glasses.
They're both haters.
Yeah, they're both haters.
Cyclops was a hater.
Hater, cool. Straight up hater.
He was a hater on
just like how Bret Hart was a hater of Stone Cold when Austin first showed up. Austin was the one that turned the culture around, like Wolverine did when it came to X-Men.
Oh shit! Look at this man.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know shit about shit.
He on it. He talking that shit.
Is Cody Rhodes Homelander?
Actually, I had Cody Rhodes U.S. agent.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's who?
U.S. agent.
It's the kind of like
the
alternate version.
What is his power to pull you over?
It's facts. It's a great value, Captain America.
Great value.
He used to smoke the super soldiers. So.
Right.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So Cody is. They're both American nightmares. You know what I mean? So they both have a thing about bloodshed. If you've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, you know what I'm talking about. So I was like, when I saw Cody, even though he dresses Homelander, I'm like, this is just like the thing about his delivery. It feels very U.S. agent vibe-ish.
Fraudulent.
Yeah, very much. And so and Kurt Angle's Captain America.
No, don't just say fraudulent to be like, yeah, she's tripping.
The sad part is we were almost there.
No,
we were there.
I'm convinced, Vaughn. If Cody and Jay were still champions, you wouldn't have heard fraudulent just now. You wouldn't have heard nothing.
Wouldn't have heard nothing. She wouldn't have said a word about that.
You wouldn't have heard nothing.
Not a single word.
They lost them titles. Matter of fact, they lost the titles, but it was like right after Roman and Cody did that face off, and it was back to square one with this one over here. All that progress out the window.
All the way out. Completely. Like
I don't know about that.
It's like a reset. But yeah, but also, since Fam mentioned Homelander, I actually have a Toxic Terry as Homelander. The reason why
that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's really perfect.
Talking about hope.
That's really good. That's really good.
The reason why is because you want to talk about somebody who thinks they're a hero, but they're really the villain of the whole story. They use their power to hold people back and destroy careers.
Cody.
And also because of the fact that Terry was known for steroids, Homelander's known for using Compound V, which is another form of steroids. And so I mean, Fam had to turn his camera
because it's Cody.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vaughn.
He is a true villain.
Sorry.
Y'all gonna see me and watch. Y'all gonna see me.
Okay. Is he?
Yes, he is.
Watch.
He is the villain. He is the villain for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we ain't got there yet.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
I see it.
We're only at the top of the fourth, right?
Top of the fourth.
Ain't no way. I ain't got 5 more innings.
Yeah.
No. We have to at least get to September 2024.
Right.
We you talk about Toxic Terry. I need Roman to take Hogan's.
How many days he had? How many days left?
September 2024.
That's
September next year.
The next milestones for Roman, it's September 2024 is the Hogan reign, and I want to say it's February or March of 2028 is the Bruno Sammartino reign. If you think he's going to be going, at that far as champion, that's another 5 years.
I don't know. I don't know if they could do. They could possibly.
They can't do September.
I'm sorry, Vaughn. Mimi. 4 years of WWE trying to find capable hands for however many pay-per-views every year. That's a lot of people that they're going to kill.
That's a lot of people. A lot of opponents of Roman, because now Roman. I don't want to go into this whole other topic. Now he's going to face LA Knight at Crown Jewel, so you already know there's gotten to the point where he's starting to run out of names at this point.
He's losing.
Who's losing to who? LA Knight?
Not at all. No.
That's what he's saying. People want that name though. I mean,
he's not going to lose the title.
He ain't.
He's going to lose.
That's what he was saying the other day. People want the LA Knight match, so I'm not surprised they're doing it now. But I hope the same people that want the match, I hope they're ready for what is probably not going to happen.
Street, y'all.
Yeah.
FYI.
Exactly. So, so you know what, Khal, I got a question for you and you and Mimi. Who would you say would be Spider-Man in terms of wrestling? Who would you?
Damn, the
I gotta
wrestling.
expand this too, since
the wrestling Peter Parker.
pretty much.
Jesus Christ, I don't
know nothing about no damn comics.
I mean, that's a lot. Like, you know, someone. Are we going with the baby face, the white boy baby face, who's got to be the most powerful and the most responsible? You know,
and there's Daniel Bryan.
Is it Bryan Danielson?
Maybe.
Is it Bryan Danielson? Never going to be the one
there, but maybe.
And the thing about it is that, like, but the thing is, both of them have been underdogs. They're both very popular, both very well respected.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
both the bomb at what they do.
Both the bomb at what they do. Both very technically proficient.
Has a low key, maybe high key argument for GOAT.
Yeah. No facts. Yeah.
Daniel's, he got the beard, call himself the GOAT.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has a strong argument for being the GOAT. They both had to face authority figures who made smear campaigns against him.
Wow. Hey, y'all sold me.
Even in the midst of that, they still overcame that. Daniel Bryan beating Evolution, 3 out of 4 members of Evolution at WrestleMania 30. Triple H, and then Randy Orton and Batista in the same night. You know what I mean? So, like, they're both, like I said, they're both technical geniuses. They're both eco-friendly as well.
I like that.
Eco-friendly is funny.
I like that. Not only that, they both got the girl in the end.
Yeah, you got that over.
So you know what I mean.
Both y'all got that.
So I'm just saying, like, pretty much as far as that. As far as, like I said, I was thinking, who would you say would Roman Reigns be?
You already had somebody for Wolverine, right?
Yeah, I had Austin on that one.
I would say Batman.
Damn.
The reason why I say
really ain't got no power
is
That's good.
Wow.
I would say Batman because, like, although he had it all, he stayed getting slandered, whether he was Bruce Wayne or Batman. He was constantly getting slandered, but at the same time, he always came out on top and he was always the savior. So that's why I think that is.
Here she go.
Wow.
Mimi read one comment.
Constantly getting. Well, first of all, like, I'm a Batgirl. Okay.
Mimi almost watched one movie before they threw it in the trash.
Okay. I think that, like, he always got the girls. Always got the girl, but all the niggas hated him. They was jealous. They was jealous. Okay.
Vaughn, get her out of here.
Oh my God.
Bruce Wayne walks into the building. Why y'all niggas hating on me?
Always hating. Always got the girls. Okay.
All right, I got a question, and this ain't got nothing to do with nothing we talked about. Exactly. Cool. Which iteration of Batman, not including the current joint that's, Lucius Fox son.
Yeah.
Which iteration of Batman? Don't worry about it, cuz. That we've seen on TV would be the most likely to use the N-word.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Clooney, and he gonna use it right.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. My question was going to be.
I was gonna say Clooney. Yeah.
Hey, my nigga, grab my utility belt.
Right, because if you were saying ER, I was probably going to say like Christian Bale or something like that. Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
Where you niggas at?
Christian Bale. Remember when Christian Bale beat up Mekhi Phifer and Shaq, Fresh in Peace, Richard Roundtree?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
Yeah,
he beat him with the pole. Pause.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, this I think is like the first pause.
of many.
First of many. Yeah, Thursday nights will be plenty of pauses. Jobbers here says plenty of pauses. PE free, plenty of pauses. You might have to pretty much like skip through some of that. But yeah, so if that's the case, I guess Seth Rollins would have to be the Joker then. If you're gonna go that.
Yeah.
It was Alfred.
Absolutely. And he is the Joker to Roman Reigns' Batman.
I actually had Roman as Injustice version of Superman.
There you go.
In the sense that both
Don't
of
worry
them
about it. Don't worry about it, man.
because both of them went bloodthirsty. This is a different version of Superman.
I wouldn't say he's bloodthirsty yet.
The bloodline. Come on now.
Damn. So he's Bizarro Superman?
No, that's another. That's another
one.
No,
that's
Ultimate Warrior's Bizarro.
There was how many iterations of Superman were they?
What is this?
It's
I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get talk with Dr. D as far as like.
Hey, can we call this episode only built for teddy bear hats?
Good one. So like I said, more of that. Stay tuned, if you will. But I wanted to get into the BRP 50. You know what I mean? Just to and as far as just we're talking about top 50 lists. So in terms of like the criteria, in terms of the placements. So how's the process go for that for those that may not be that familiar, like in terms of in terms of like the process in terms of
criteria. Are you talking about criteria? Okay.
Yeah.
The Teddy Ruxpin tell him.
So Teddy Ruxpin is amazing.
Paddington Bear.
Listen, Vaughn. I'm in the off season.
Okay.
Yeah, we out the season right
I'm in
now.
BRP off season, so a lot of this shit, I'm just going off of memory. You asking about the process or how do we
process?
Yeah,
criteria.
The criteria. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So we're going.
So
what it is, it's a lot of things are weighted. A lot of things are weighted. We're judging off of TV time. We're going off of titles held. We're going off of matches, the matches that were had. We're going off of how long, the competition that you were facing, how long you've held the title, et cetera, et cetera. The places that you've been. Mm-hmm. That's some of the things that we go off of.
And May 15th to May 14th, right?
Yeah. May 15th to 14th, correct.
May.
Is the time frame that we're going off of. All this shit starts to rolling around January. Okay. So when I say I'm off, I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's basically that's basically how things get started.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So and of course I know Mimi's going to go pretty soon. But what are your thoughts? I know I came up with the top 50 list of my own. And I wanted to know.
You were wrong.
Oh wow!
You were wrong.
On which ones?
All of them.
Wow.
He gonna say it about everybody though. Every list.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah,
every list that's not his. He wrong.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So I don't know if maybe show everybody else the list. So what y'all think about some of them? You've seen it.
No, we've seen it.
So what do you think about some of the placements?
So yours dropped maybe 2 months before. No, it was before ours.
Yeah,
it was like a month and a half before ours.
Yeah.
I can't remember. If you can run down the top 10, I'll tell you that you're wrong again. But go ahead and run down the top 10.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run it. It doesn't matter 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. It doesn't matter.
No, it's all wrong.
All right. So So number 10 I have Sting. Number 9 I got Trips. Number 8. Toxic Terry. Number 7, I got Bret Hart. Number 6, John Cena. Number 5, Shawn Michaels. Number 4, Ric Flair. Number 3, Undertaker. Number 2, The Rock. And number 1, Stone Cold.
So we also going off of age as well, right? Your age.
That feels like an era.
Yeah, we're going off of your age.
I guess.
How old are you, Vaughn?
I'm 34.
Oh yeah, okay.
Here you go.
So
Fuck it.
What you said Sting was where?
10.
10.
Why?
I mean, the thing is, I could move him up, but I
Why?
think because of the fact that because of what he meant to WCW in terms of him being the franchise, but also at the same time, I think because the time he spent with TNA, it's like Joker Sting instead of what I mean, like as far as like going over to WWE, and
Was that good work? Was the Joker Sting good work?
I mean, it was, but it's just like I think when I match it with some of the other names that I have on this list, some of the aforementioned, it's just like, how far can I put Sting compared to like Shawn or like Flair or Taker or Austin?
I asked you that because Sting. I think some of the people on this list didn't really need anyone else on this list to be where they are, except for Sting. Sting needed Ric Flair, and he needed Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else in that top 10 needed each other, because you go ahead, talk to me, Khal.
I think everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs a foil.
I said in that 10.
Like, I think Brett needs a Shawn. Shawn needs a Brett. Brett needs a Stone Cold. Like, it's that sort of thing.
I don't think Brett needed Stone Cold.
Right. I don't think so either.
Brett was him before
Stone Cold needed
That's
Brett.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the thing is, Stone Cold,
in my opinion.
Yeah. Stone Cold needed Brett to get elevated because the thing is, Austin 316 was one thing, but the thing is, like, it went to a whole nother level once you started feuding with Brett. You know what I mean? So like, if anything, that caught Brett's attention first and foremost. As far as like the Austin 316 thing. Plus Brett was already respected him anyway, so it's just like that raised Stone Cold stock even more.
I guess Rock needed Stone Cold for sure. They kind of Rock
needed each other
initially.
So I see what you're saying. I'm just not I wasn't never a real big Sting fan, nor everybody else seems legit. I just question Sting. Oh wait, we were just questioning Sting this week as well.
Just the other day.
That's not new. I just don't. After that certain period, it kind of got fuzzy for me because it was TNA, and then I felt like the Joker gimmick, and then the Ace of Spade or whatever they was called, the Wild Aces.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whatever they were was
Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights.
Yeah.
Like I felt like the Joker shit was wild hokey, and then the Aces and Eights seemed like a play. Everything is a playoff for like
old stuff.
NWO at the time.
Yeah.
So I really couldn't get into that. So that could be it too. But
overall,
this is a decent list. I can't really say that is wrong. I don't know where Randy Savage is, but
I was waiting for that. I was waiting.
Actually had him like at 11. I could switch him to Sting.
Yeah, you wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I mean, it was on the borderline. It was like,
where was Too Cold Scorpio?
And I ain't.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Nobody ranked Too Cold Scorpio. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Unless
so Mimi, what are your thoughts on the list before you go?
I thought it was good. I thought it was absolutely good. Not really familiar with half of it because I didn't watch WCW.
Okay.
But I thought it was good.
Thank you.
So
I
think it's strong. I think it's strong. Again, it's not one of those things where it's like egregious.
Right. I've seen worse. Believe me.
There's a lot of lists out there. A lot of say a lot of different things. So, but no, I mean,
you ain't got nobody twice.
Right. No, I ain't put nobody on it twice.
Or a basketball player on that motherfucker.
Right.
No, not at all. I got an NBA list. I got NBA lists separately from that. So
okay.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. But yeah, like I said, I just asked because I just wanted to get y'all thoughts about it because I saw y'all do the BRP 50. Like both of us have top 50 lists in our own right.
Mhm.
So that's you know what I mean. So if nothing else, we just cover the top 10.
That's
you know,
right.
the rest of it speaks for itself.
Mhm.
But yeah, so any you know, if y'all want to plug, you know, wherever else y'all, you know, have going on for tomorrow or anything else on the podcast.
Tune in 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, youtube.com/Black Rasslin. You always gonna get a cold open. There may or may not be some surprises during that time frame, and then we'll eventually get to some pro wrestling. I mean, I don't. There's some things that we're working on. Math. I'm always hesitant to mention that stuff before it happens. Math has taught me that. It's well, Michael Scott said, I'm not superstitious, but I'm just a little stitious, you know. It's a little stitious.
I'm a little stitious.
Just a little stitches.
But yeah, I mean, blackwrestling.com, patreon.com/Black Rasslin. If you're not already tapped in, pay the 1, pay the 10,
Pay
get
the 10.
content like the stuff on the
Pay the
pod, but
10.
you'll see a lot more of Brother Fam, a lot more of Downtown Tony Brown, a lot more of myself, all types of stuff. I mean, I don't know if anybody has anything they want to shout out, but I mean, that's pretty much, those are always the constants.
Yes. Turn into Turnbuckle Talk on a Tuesday on a Black Wrestling podcast. Twitter
Oh
machine.
shit, she about to sing.
Come through.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. So
Come through.
most certainly. But yeah, like I said, it's definitely been, like I said, I appreciate you know, y'all have you know, coming on the show. And so like I said, it was definitely a great conversation because y'all were definitely on my list in terms of people, you know, that wanted to dialogue with, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, once again, thank you very much for your contributions when it comes to the BRP 50. I know Math got a.
I was gonna say, Vaughn, where the hell was Chris Jericho? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Chris Jericho. I had
be on my top 10.
No, I had him at number 15 on my list.
All right, that was it.
Yeah. I had Jericho at 15. So
well, we appreciate your support. We thank you for
very much
coming
for
through
having
every
us.
week on our show and having us, and we appreciate you, Vaughn.
I appreciate you as well.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Damn,
All right.
Was out. I ain't even get to get my social.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't follow me.
Hey, fam.
I knew that was happening.
He got nothing.
He ain't got
No,
nothing.
son.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much, Vaughn, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you next week.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, hope you have a great evening. Thank you very much to my guest, Black Rasslin, for an amazing show. And so, like I said, once again, like I said, absolutely, have a great evening, have a great night, and enjoy the rest of your week. So, later.